Hey rabbit, you like money? I like money. Okay, and 2026 for the rabbit, let me make my best sky is your God impression. Chai, lie, chai, lie, lie, chai. I'm sorry. That doesn't make you laugh. I don't know what will. Okay, so I'm Pauline Cheng, Patzer and Feng Shui practitioner, and I have been totally looking forward to share this one. Okay, nothing brings me more joy than using Chinese metaphysics to empower, not to disempower. But before we all start to hop onto the rabbit in 2026, let's rewind for a quick recap in 2025. Now, after a couple of years, rabbit's momentum is quietly beginning to shift in 2025, or was quietly beginning to shift in 2025. Whether you notice it or not, the thriving star, this one, okay, marked the return of vitality. It was a steady signal that growth was possible again. You're getting support again. Wasn't peak success yet, but the ground was getting warmer and opportunities were starting to sprout. Now, that said, I'm not brushing aside the real-world challenges that some rabbits faced in 2025, but I hope that with every challenge overcome, okay, you walked away with something stronger, confidence, clarity, or the kind of hope that doesn't fade when things get messy. Because in 2026, it's time to get hopping. Now, presenting the star of 2026. Fortune virtue. This one is a legit wealth star, okay? Can you tell from the money symbols on screen? Okay, it's multiple currencies, okay? Okay, we ain't playing small none. Not this year. Okay, now, cheekiness aside, okay, what is the fortune virtue? Plain and simple, brings wealth opportunities. Like suddenly you got food to eat. Okay, the doors are open and something good is inside. So when this star lands in your chart, there are 3 things that you need to do. Number 1, learn to recognize opportunity when it shows up, not after it's gone. Because sometimes, right, it does knock, but we miss it, okay? Because we're human. Then later go, yeah, right? So number 2, be prepared for external opportunities. That means having leverage. You need to have some leverage, capital, time, people, or tools. Without the ammo, you may have to let good chances pass you by. A bit wasteful, painful but true. Okay, number 3, be ready to work. Opportunity isn't always wrapped in gold. It often looks like effort. That said, yes, fortune virtue can sometimes show up as dumb luck. Bit of a Midas touch in 2026. And you know what? We all deserve some dumb luck, don't we? It's every once in a while. So what if it is unsustainable, right? You just take it and enjoy it. Okay, so, and bonus, this star amplifies the effect of other wealth stars, which leads us to, if one wealth star is not enough, then let's make it 2. Okay, the fortune virtue is what it does is it amps up the effects of the prosperity star. This is yet another legit wealth star, bringing abundance and, more importantly, again, opportunities. Prosperity star signals career advancements, increased income, surprise bonuses, and even a step up in social standings. So it also boosts creativity and the ability to generate ideas that you can actually monetize. Think your fresh concept for a new product or service gets the green light, leading to a hefty bonus and a promotion. For business owners, ideas are flowing easier, leads are increasing, and monetizing comes more naturally. Now, between fortune virtue and the prosperity, it's like the rabbit is flying with a tailwind. Momentum gets a serious boost. So to unlock the abundance, now you gotta get out there. You gotta get out there. Okay, you've got to use it to build mutually beneficial relationships with potential benefactors and supporters. Okay, why? Because opportunities are given to us by other people. So people who can give you ideas, intel, contact systems, structures, or even capital. But here's the flip side. Networking often involves eating, drinking, and more eating. So prosperity star comes with a health caution label. Lifestyle related issues. We're talking overindulgence. Okay, rich man's disease, you know, fatty liver, those kind of stuff, right? So go easy on the eating, okay? So far we good with this two. Do you want some more? Okay, two still not enough. We add one more. Okay, heavenly virtue. This is a star of positive blessings. It dissolves negativity, it disperses heavy energy, and clears obstacles like magic. Suddenly, the roadblocks that had you stuck just vanished, and you're moving forward again. So the star, this guy doesn't work alone. Okay, it supercharges the fortune virtue and the prosperity star as well. So the only thing that can slam the brakes on the heavenly virtue would be our own self-limiting beliefs. So here's the real power move. Use the heavenly virtue to dissolve those beliefs as well. With all three stars in play, this is quite a rare combination. Okay, ask yourself, if failure wasn't an option, what would you go after? So to tap into this, start taking proactive action. Hunt for counter evidence against your doubts. Surround yourself with people who see your potential, okay? And reframe failure. Okay, it's not what if I fail, it's what will I learn if I fail, or so what if I fail. Okay, remember now you had the thriving star in 2025. That was your warm up to build a circle of supporters, not naysayers. And with these three stars together, the rabbit is basically the king of 2026. The rest, no need to talk about already, okay? My job is done. Okay, what's that? You want some more? Wow, greedy lah you. Okay, rabbit has had a few down-ish years, so we give chance. Right, so now, the heavenly virtue gets an extra backup from the Taiji Nobleman. Okay, this means mentors, teachers, benefactors with wisdom and experience. These are the type of noble people who can help you see things in a different light, reframe a problem, see a wider perspectives, and perhaps even help you to maybe finally stop selling yourself short. But here's the danger, especially in period 9. Too many gurus. Society has so wired us to fear failure and believe that we are not enough, that we keep signing up for the next external validation, next course, next retreat, next book, hoping that that next one will finally fix us. So be mindful of the trend towards spiritual consumerism. I mean, I know you got a lot of money, I know, okay? But that's how we end up getting trapped into a belief system that may not serve us. We end up outsourcing our discernment, strategy, and authority. So please, while there are certainly genuine advisors out there, please qualify them before you buy in. Good question to ask yourself before the buy-in is, which quick fix am I fixing? Am I chasing instead of doing the real work? And then, believe it or not, we're not done with the positive stars yet. Now remember how I said the prosperity star is your chance to build mutually beneficial relationships? Well, turns out you've been handed the perfect stage to make it happen. The sky happiness. This is a star of happy events and good tidings. Traditionally, it's about weddings, birthdays, birth of a child. Okay, today we stretch it to industry events, office parties, networking night, even lunch also counts. Okay, but think bigger. It's period 9. Online forums, community groups, live Q&As, all qualify because this is a celebratory star. So your move, find any excuse to celebrate and throw something worth remembering. Just remember, okay? Celebration equals rich food. So like the prosperity star, sky happiness carries a health warning. Okay, pace yourself or risk the too much good life syndrome. Now, that's the peach blossom also and the salty pool. Personal magnetism on overdrive. People help you because you're so cute and fluffy. Okay, they want to pinch your cheeks, the top one, okay, not the bottom ones. Okay, hopefully. But so both of these are the likability bias in action. When people like you, they are more likely to help you or do business with you or buy in with you. But here's the pro tip: reverse the bias. Make them feel like you like them. When people believe you genuinely enjoy their company, they become even more willing to work with you, refer you, or even open doors. So now the salty pool is a star of fleeting connections. There is magnetism, especially with members of the opposite sex. Somehow you give off a great first impression, but the relationship may not last. Happens in both professional and social circles as well. But hey, at least there's a foot in the door. So to counter the effects of the salty pool, don't take the connections for granted. If you're serious about building win-win relationship, we need to invest time into following up, into knowing what value we bring to the table. Because if we're always taking and we're never giving, and your Taiji Nobleman will also Taiji you lah, right? And of course, peach blossom energy needs to be managed well to avoid any unnecessary social drama. Am I making relationships sound transactional? Aren't they? And when there's a power imbalance in any relationship, what usually happens? That's where the next star comes in. Could there be any negatives in a year stacked with so many goodies? A few. Cold tongue and crossing star. These two stars are linked to arguments and disputes. Cold tongue warns of petty gossip or misunderstandings stirred up by external voices. Crossing star, this one signals third-party interference or even potential legal disputes. But come on. In a year stacked with so many positive stars, petty gossip is the last thing that should be on your radar, isn't it? And when it comes to outside interference, trust your instincts. A lot of people disguise their own projections as friendly advice. So how can we flip this too? Pro tip: you say good things about other people behind their back. Seriously, you get back to them, and you suddenly have a good relationship, okay? Because throughout human history, gossip has always been a way for groups to bond. The problem is we default to bad gossip. So if you're gonna talk good. Build other people's relationship for them, and it will come back around for you. And as for crossing star, cover your bases, deliver what you promise, double check every document, update your terms of service, and if needed, ask a legal expert to look things over. And one last negative star, and then we're done. Okay. Honestly, I was so tempted to make this final star so small that you can't even see it, but in the end I decided not to be so naughty. Okay, so drapes, or sometimes called Mourning, is an emo star. Depression, anxiety, that nagging sense that something is off. Okay, so that's why I parked it here directly under the Taiji Nobleman. Okay, now you look at this entire board. Seriously, just look at the entire board. Okay, compared to the positive stars, especially this big three, the negatives in the rabbit's chart, okay, is almost a footnote. Can we tell them to go pound sand? Okay, so there are two ways to deal with drapes. Option one: if the emotional issues are truly blocking you from showing up as your best self, then please go and get support. Okay. Now, option two: can we park the feelings aside for now? Focus on the external action. We get the results first, then deal with the feelings later, right? Because honestly, after getting all the results, you might not even remember what caused the emotions in the first place, right? And so after everything that we've covered, would you agree that the rabbit is getting a very good deal in 2026? Because speaking of good deals, I also have one for you. So this is Hack My 2026. It's a strategic planning workshop created by myself, Charmaine Ho, and Jonas Lee of Renergy. So it's designed for people who enjoy 3 half-day workshops that helps them pull information out of their chart, because we bring 八字, 气门, feng shui, I Ching, and tarot together into a single decision-making system. The goal is simple: help you craft a plan that is customized to your objectives. Now, we're not gurus, okay? We're just Chinese metaphysics practitioners. Our job is to guide, not to instruct, okay? And yes, 2 things to note. Number 1, this is very business and career focused. And number 2, yes, there's a 90-day replay available, okay? So now, if you're interested, scan the QR code. Link is in the description. Let's hop back to the rabbit. Now, when the rabbit in your year pillar meets the horse in 2026, it creates what we call a destruction dynamic. Okay, hold on, don't panic. Destruction sounds scary, but it doesn't mean disaster. It means recalibration, reset, a reinvention. So when this shows up in your year pillar, it's a sign that you are being nudged towards a new playground. Your industry is possibly undergoing a massive upswing and growth in the best possible way. There is a lot of movement, there would be a lot of energy. Okay, opportunities are everywhere. So just look at the positive stars in the rabbit, okay? So now here's the strategy. Number 1, join the movers. Avoid the moaners. New network, new playgrounds. This is also the perfect time to recalibrate your public branding, how you're perceived in your industry and what you now stand for. If you're a career professional, this might be the year you switch industries altogether. Perhaps opportunities show up to jump into a field that's thriving in the current climate, because the year pillar governs your industry, market visibility, and social network. Okay, bottom line, opportunities you want will come from connecting with new people, in new spaces, doing new things. Month pillar governs your business operations and professional life. When the destruction happens here, it's not a sign of failure, it's a cue to overhaul what is outdated so that you can handle bigger growth. Think of it as a chance to begin your next evolution. So for business owners, this is the window to re-innovate your model. Stars in 2026 support expansion, collaboration, and reinvention. So take on the new projects, but clear the bottlenecks first. Overhaul your system so that they can scale. For career professionals, this isn't just a tweak. It could mean a full career pivot. If your current role no longer reflects your capabilities or aspirations, it may be time to shift paths, or the opportunity may show up for you to shift path. So the destruction energy clears space for a new direction, one that better fits who you're becoming. So this is also a moment to examine internal resistance, the beliefs, the habits, or team dynamics that are holding you back. Focus on aligning with people who share your momentum. Celebrate progress, small or major, and get your team rowing in the same direction. Next, the day pillar governs yourself, your intimate relationships. When a destruction happens here, it's time to recalibrate your spouse. Okay, no, sorry. Okay, if you're partnered, this is a chance to reset the dynamics within the relationship. Strengthen the bond by by celebrating small milestones. Be each other's sounding board. Inspire each other. If the relationship has become all about survival and logistics, maybe it's time to bring back the joy and lightness. But heads up, this year also brings the cold tongue and crossing sha. So outside interference, miscommunication, or even emotional withdrawal can quietly erode connection. So a strong relationship will not break from a single storm, but we do need to put in the effort, right? So now, traditionally, 八字 doesn't love seeing peach blossom and salty pool in the day pillar. The classic warning, someone might be doing something they shouldn't. But instead of getting sus and weird, flip it around. Use the energy to reignite the spark within the relationship. If you got a dead bedroom, the salty pool is the cure. Okay, so now, for those of you thinking, wow, all these good stars wasted on my relationship, no way, I want to use them for myself. Great. Destruction in the day pillar also signals a time for self-reinvention. Who do you want to become? Use the positive stars to dissolve the blocks in your identity and start building towards your next evolution. Okay, and a quick health caution, okay, with stars like peach blossom, salty pool, prosperity star in the mix, along with the sky happiness, indulgences can creep in. So watch out for the rich man's disease, okay, especially if you're whining, dining, and sitting pretty all the time. Now, the hour pillar governs your long-term plans, your mindset, children, employees, legacy, and investment. So what happens when a destruction shows up here, but with all these positive stars? You might feel like you've got a bit of a Midas touch in 2026. Investment wins maybe, lucky breaks, golden opportunities landing in your lap. And honestly, that's possible. That's the real upside in 2026. But here's the catch. Destruction energy still applies, and that means one thing. You need to unlearn before you level up. Every one of us has beliefs or behaviors that holds us back. And some of us, worse, we're attached to them. Okay, so destruction to the hour pillar is your invitation to let go of outdated thinking, especially around money, risk, and growth. So if you're investing, this is the year to question your assumptions, upgrade your skill sets, and recalibrate your strategy. What used to work may not work anymore. So stay sharp, and with the fortune virtue in play, you might spot some one-off high-value opportunities, but you will need the cash liquidity and clear thinking to take advantage of it. So keep some dry powder ready, okay? Now, children, with the sky happiness traditionally meaning the birth of children, who knows? Maybe you're celebrating a new arrival. In that case, then congratulations. So if you found my sharing useful, here's how we can work together. We can either, if you want to, you can book a 八字 consult. Not everybody likes to sit through a 3 half-day workshops. So we meet for 90 minutes on Zoom. Oh, sorry, here. We meet for 90 minutes on Zoom, okay, and you walk away with a personalized plan that is done for you, but I'm a solo practitioner, so a wait time can stretch during the peak season, okay? Now, number 2 is Feng Shui audits. If you scan this, it'll send me an email, basically, okay? So this is an FYI, I typically don't accept new Feng Shui clients in January and February because I need to honor my 八字 clients. And finally, the 八字 blueprint is a 八字 course designed to train other 八字 practitioners. If that's your thing, then scan the QR code and note that there's a promo running at the point of checkout. The first 50 to key in Crazy Horse, that's CrazeeHorse, will get a very nice discount. So the links are below as well. So now, let's take a peek at what your elemental besties are bringing into 2026. Now, let's be real, okay? The rabbit has already swept up the majority of the positive stars in 2026. So don't be surprised if other people comes knocking to you, okay? So, but still, it's good strategy to know who you can team up with, right? So first, the dog, okay? It has a lot of creative flair in 2026. So if you need fresh perspectives especially, or strong execution support, the dog has got the chops. The goat, okay, this one is the real standout. The goat not only shares access to this year's opportunities, it also carries the sun star in 2026. The sun star in the goat enhances your fortune virtue and heavenly virtue, meaning your efforts are more likely to land well. So definitely rabbit and goat combination, wah, chef's kiss. Okay, and finally the pig. also powerful, okay? It's sitting on the 5 prosperity, opening up multiple income opportunities. So think of the pig as your monetization buddy. Good with money moves, especially the ones behind the scenes. So whether you collaborate or you go solo, 2026 is a strong year for your entire crew. Okay, but make no mistake, the rabbit is the one leading the charge. So that's it for the rabbit, and really, isn't that more than enough? Okay, I'm Pauline Cheng. It's been a joy guiding you through this journey. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. I do read them, you know, I do reply, right? And if you've enjoyed this little metaphysical adventure, go ahead, smash that like and subscribe button. So from me to you, 恭喜發財，萬事如意. May abundance greet you in every direction in 2026. So I started with sky is your God. I'm going to end with it, okay? 來，才來，才來，bye.